A few days ago, legendary YouTuber PewDiePie, he told everyone he installed Linux. He said, I installed Linux and so should you. And he produced what was essentially a 22-minute long commercial for why you should be using Linux instead of Windows. It was a pretty good one, too. More power to him. He clearly is having a ton of fun installing and customizing his Linux machines, and he's having a great time with it. His video has been viewed now by about 4 million people over the last 3 days, so it's getting some serious traction. But what's really fascinating about this isn't that there's some YouTuber, big or small, that decided, hey, you should use Linux. That's happened before. What's fascinating is the reaction from among the leftist extremist activists within the open source world. And I'm not talking about just some fringe people. I'm talking about a whole lot of people, including prominent leaders of large Linux projects and distributions, are coming out and saying flat out, PewDiePie, you're not allowed because you're a Nazi and you're a fascist. That's what they're saying. And they're saying anyone who is coming to Linux because they saw a video by PewDiePie, they're a fascist and a Nazi too, and they're not allowed. Here's one post. Linux communities beware of PewDiePie fans, regardless of PewDiePie's personal politics, which clearly, at the very least, are problematic. By the way, anyone who says, oh, those views are problematic. Oh, problematic views. He says problematic things. He's a problematic person. I instantly discount the the ideas of that person. Problematic? All right. He goes on to say, it's fairly well known by anyone who has been following him for any number of years that the vast majority of his fan base are enthusiastic fascists. Wow. And then the Dan Foray, this guy is the leader of the Elementary OS project, a fairly prominent Linux distribution. He says, this right here is the thing you are going to have to recognize as a red flag. They're going to try and say, actually, you are an extremist and unreasonable. To anyone who says keep out PewDiePie. You're being gatekeepy. Why does it matter what someone's political views are? End quote. Don't allow this beep. No Nazis allowed in my bar, period. Don't care. Get the beep out. Tell your friends I said beep Nazis too. Jeez. So basically he's saying anyone who follows PewDiePie is a Nazi and to get out. Lots of swear words with it. Anyone who says that you shouldn't gatekeep the world of Linux is bad and should not be allowed and is probably a Nazi too. They like to repeat this Nazi bar thing. They talk about Nazi bars a lot. And what this is a general metaphor for saying, oh, if you have a location like a bar and you allow someone in who's a Nazi, pretty soon it's just going to be Nazis. That's the Nazi bar metaphor. So from their standpoint, if they feel like someone's a Nazi, you can't allow them in. But who they consider to be Nazis is everybody who is not agreeing with their politics, right? So they don't mean actual Nazis, right? They're not talking about National Socialist Party people. Right? They're talking about anyone who is a centrist, anyone who is a Republican, anyone who is a conservative, anyone who is left of center but not left enough. Basically, anyone who's not a Marxist or a communist, for them, is a Nazi and a fascist and therefore should not be allowed to use Linux. Shouldn't be allowed to use Linux, shouldn't be allowed on platforms where they talk about Linux, any of it, and they're going to swear up a storm and name call to make it happen. Nazi bar warning, says another. I just got this in my YouTube recommendations, referring to the PewDiePie video. This influencer has fash followers. He's got 110 million subscribers on YouTube alone, and they're like, oh no, 110 million fascists are coming for you. Run for the hills. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, this has been an ongoing thing where the extremists within the world of open source software, within Linux and everything else, have been just increasingly trying to make more and more noise along these lines. I mean, we saw just a couple days ago One of the prominent individuals within the GNOME project, one of the big desktop environments on Linux, declared "F Nazis, GNOME is Antifa," right? And they're trying to dissuade people who are right wing from being part of the project, dissuade people who are being centrist from being part of the project, from even using the software. They want you to know that they're going to attack you, right? Because that's what Antifa does, at least in the United States. If you aren't a communist, a Marxist, an anarchist kind of person, you are going to be attacked by Antifa, right? That's how Antifa in the United States works. It's just how they work. If you're Jewish, they don't like you. If you're conservative, they don't like you. If you're Republican, they don't like you. If you vote for Trump, they don't like you. If you're a centrist, they don't like you. If you're a Democrat, but you voted for the wrong Democrats, they don't like you, right? Whoever you are, they're going to get you, right? And so this is kind of an ongoing thing. Now they're directing it towards PewDiePie, because PewDiePie comes out and he's a big YouTuber. He makes a whole bunch of noise about Linux, and he gets some people excited about Linux. Great. More power to you. People should be excited about tinkering around with their computers. I'm all on board with that. But it is pretty horrific. And what's crazy about all this is I'm seeing all of this stuff happening, and I'm seeing these crazy, profane, vulgar, angry, hateful, bigoted, and wildly inaccurate statements being stated by leadership within various Linux projects, and I'm not seeing pushback on it. I'm not significantly anyway. I'm not seeing a real strong pushback from anyone within with any significant voice anyway within the world of Linux and open source saying, okay, you guys need to sit down. You're on timeout. This is getting ridiculous. PewDiePie just made a video about how Linux is pretty. You should try it because it's cool looking. And you guys are going nuts, calling people fascists. Millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are Nazis and fascists, and you're just going at them, and you're going to gatekeep your systems and not allow them into your communities because, they're fascists, and they're not. It doesn't matter that they're not. You're going to call them that anyway. It's ridiculous. Where are the people? Where are the leaders within the Linux and open source world that are sitting up and saying, no, Daniel Foray, sit down. And all the rest of you, sit down. Stop it. You know what? If we're going to gatekeep anyone, we're going to gatekeep all of you crazies. Not seeing anyone do that. And I think that's really telling. I think that's really telling. Whether it's telling that, well, they really secretly agree with these crazy people who call every rustling leaf a fascist, or they're terrified of these people. Those are the two options that it seems to me, and it's pretty ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous, and it needs to be called out because it's not okay. So to PewDiePie, to anyone who saw PewDiePie's video and wants to install Linux, more power to you. Welcome. Ignore all of the hateful people. There's a lot of them. You're going to be installing a lot of software that you're probably going to say, hey, that's pretty cool software. Then you're going to go online and look up what's happening with, this is this cool. No, that seems pretty neat. And you're going to find out that those people that run that project hate you for being a centrist or whatever you are. They hate you probably. So you're going to have to decide for yourself what you want to do with that. But Linux is still a whole lot of fun. And so a lot of these open source projects, despite the people who run them hating you, they're still pretty fun projects. So welcome to PewDiePie and the PewDiePie followers. My apologies on behalf of the few of us in open source world that are sane and don't just go around attacking people all the time. Sorry. We're speaking out against these nut jobs, at least. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers for keeping the Lunduke Journal a rockin'. Go to lunduke.com and click on some links. Lovely links. You love the links on lunduke.com. You love them so much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across the inner tubes, I do declare, end broadcast.